What's up, dudes?
What's up, dudes?
What's up, guys? We're gonna be jumping straight into this video because we have a bunch of things to do. On the first video of putting the front end on for the IS300, I still needed to wire up the headlights and turn signals and lower the car, which was pretty much everything that I'm gonna be doing today. But I also picked up a few more goodies to try to complete the TRD look of the car. Oof.
Oh.
It is white. And it is very, very beat up.
And it has a hole.
This is the JDM Altezza bumper, which is a lot shorter than the IS300s, and I actually told you guys about that in the last video. And on top of that, the reason I got this specific one is because it has the authentic TRD lip, which is pretty hard to come by, and they're around $300 after shipping if you try to get it from Japan. I also picked up a set of Altezza tails, which are literally identical to the OEM ones, but this one is peeling. You can see right here all the chrome, and then even up top it looks like it's burning. And there's a few differences of this bumper versus that one and why this one's so big. I'll be taking it off and showing you guys side by side the comparison between these two, but I feel like the biggest issue we're going to be running into is the fact that this exhaust already sticks up really high, and that has a lip. I guess I'll start in the rear since I kind of have an idea of what I'm going to be doing with the front, and it's not going to be too hard, just so we at least have all the body panels on. While I'm taking off the bumper, Stephanie is going to be trying to take these yellow headlights and make them clear again, because I did try polishing them and they do look pretty clear in that aspect. They still have this yellowish hue, so I spent like $8 on this. I don't know if it's gonna work. It probably won't. You ready?
I thought that had like 6 fingers. So we got our little sandpaper here. We got okay, we got 2 different grits of sandpaper. We got spray lubricant, and then we got the compound. So we use that to actually clean it. We also got base coat and then the sealing wipe, which I have no idea. So let's get started. Okay, now that we finished using the compound and sanding all the headlights with the grits, we're gonna go ahead and use the base coat wipe. And then once we're finished with this and once it dries, we're gonna use sealing wipe. And this is to prevent future yellowing and all that good stuff.
It's pretty much like clear coat in a wipe.
I mean, it looks better than it was.
Looks a lot better. It still has a little bit yellow, but can't complain at this point. Yeah, I'll just run them like this until they're yellow again. But while I'm at it, I might as well put on the new lug nuts that I bought for the TEs because I do not want them to get stolen. So I did get these Duranut lug nuts that have 4 locking nuts, which is pretty cool. I've never seen anything like them. They do have the Made in Japan sign and the race sign, so that's pretty sick. I did get them in gunmetal, so it's gonna look pretty cool with these front wheels. It's gonna match really nice. So the way to pull this part off after you remove all the bolts is literally pulling it as hard as you can. I thought I was gonna break it, but it worked, so that's really good. So once you pull that off, there's obviously gonna be bolts still on the bottom. The bottom tabs appear to be held on by clips. These aren't just reflectors, they actually do have lights in them. So that harness is pretty much just gonna have to stay there because on this bumper, it doesn't have any lights. So obviously it looks a lot cleaner too. You can see how thick this is. This is almost the length of my hand. Whereas you look at this one and it looks like it's half the size. So the reason for that is because the US model IS300s have this rear crash bar. The Japanese model does not. And the reason for that is obviously their regulations are different, and that's also a reason that they get totaled so easy, because once they get hit in the rear end, they're done. They sell the front end to us, and then we put it on our cars. Okay guys, I think I have a good idea. I unplugged the harness for the rear lights, which is pretty cool because obviously I didn't have to cut any wires. The turn signal wires, these 2 wires are the same color as these wires. So I could actually use these wires to make some wires for the turn signals. The headlights for the US ones have 2 turn signal bulbs, which means the JDM spec one is going to be missing one. So instead of just wasting it, I'm going to be using the wire to run it through to the turn signal. It should work, hopefully. Here's how it looks with the new rear bumper on. That looks wild. You can immediately tell the difference of how thin it is and how much the exhaust sticks out now. Like, seeing it from the side is just nuts. The height of it is actually higher too, because the exhaust isn't touching like it did on the old bumper. After seeing it, I'm not really gonna mind driving around with different colored parts on my car, because nothing's matching at this point, but it's the process and I'm enjoying it. Stephanie always tells me, enjoy the process. It's way easier on IS's to legit just take off the 3 nuts on top and spin it once it's off, because if you try doing it on top, there's just too much load on it. Still needs to go lower. Okay, about 2 fingers. Let's see how accurate I was without even checking. About 2 fingers. Woo! Got him exactly. The bumper has a lot of abuse, so I'm sure once I at least clean it, it'll look better than how it does now. Even with the color being different, tell me this thing doesn't look sick. We kept the whole harness from the other front end. Does that scare you?
No.
Okay, so that harness is what we're gonna be using to chop up these headlights. Just trying to cut around so I have some space. I don't really want to cut it with the wire cutters, but pretty much I'm just gonna be cutting it like right, I would say right there. Okay, so now I have them wired. See, I don't blow a fuse or catch anything on fire. Works. Perfect. You cut it. So now I know exactly which ones they are. It's this one, which is for high beam, and then this one, which is for low beam. So these are the connectors, and honestly, you could even cut the old harness if you have one and just literally touch the wires without touching them together, and you'll see which one turns on if you have someone doing it for you. But luckily, my front end came with the harness, because a lot of people, when they try to do swaps like this to the Altezza headlights and want to downgrade to halogens like I'm doing, they don't have the harness included, so they have to get the 9006 connector and pin it themselves. I was hoping with the turn signal, if I removed one of the bulbs and put this in line with it, this turn signal, which is a smaller bulb, that it wouldn't cause the spasm of a turn signal. But do you see how it's wrapping so fast? So what that means is I'm gonna have to plug the connector back in and actually run 4 wires out. 2 to 1 bulb that's just literally gonna hang there, and 2 to this connector, which is gonna slow down that rapid pulsation. Unless I wire in some resistors, which honestly I don't know the resistance for a bulb, and I don't really wanna do that. It's a big headache. For now, this is how I'm gonna do it. I'm still gonna have it try to have it as clean as I can and try to put that bulb somewhere nice. 2 hours later, and I fucked up pretty bad. I didn't have enough wire to connect the headlights to the actual bulbs because they didn't reach. So now it's all tucked, and I did use these to clean it up. Everything should be good. I'm super exhausted.
Me too, and I barely did anything.
One thing I did on the other side that I didn't show on camera was, instead of actually rolling it, I just hit the tabs in and the lip with a hammer and while heating it up. So that worked really well. Okay, you can see this tab, how it's just straight out, and this lip as well. It kept the same look with no waviness, and it didn't pull it, and all it did was just bend it in. And I'm pretty sure that's all I'm gonna need. This thing came in clutch. If it was an impact, it would just scrape the wheel. You can see it barely fit inside the hole, but since it's plastic, it's obviously not gonna damage it. So that was good, especially when you're torquing the wheels. The car is pretty much where I need it to be for the time being, and the full restoration of it is good.
So much better. It's so good.
Damn, that's crazy. I can't believe it looks as good. Like, everything's dialed in. The rear's dialed in. When it comes to suspension, the front is too. Hopefully the front doesn't hit. I don't have to roll it anymore. Everything just looks perfect. since this is my first time actually parking in a parking space for about like 2 months, I just wanted to see how it looked like with some nice lighting, and it does look really, really good. That's crazy. I'm not gonna be here for long. I just wanted to show you guys the car because obviously driving out right now and just being out in general, you can get in trouble. It's just crazy how far this car has come in such a matter of time. Pretty nuts, and I still have a lot of things to dial in. I still have to roll the fenders even more because it's scraping like crazy. The rears are hitting 24/7 now. So it's scraping everywhere. I need to get stiffer springs. There's a lot of things I need to do, but luckily I don't drive far to work. Everything that I need to do isn't an emergency. It needs to be done sometime soon. But on that note, hope you guys enjoyed this video. Like, subscribe, and share.
I'll see you in the next one.